The Sunday school lessons for August 31st, 2025 are Living Stones in a Spiritual Temple and Building from the Ground Up. 1 Peter chapter 2 verses 1 through 12. This is an audio reading of the lesson and lesson summary. Verses 1 through 3. Therefore, rid yourselves of all malice and all deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and slander of every kind. Like newborn babies, crave pure spiritual milk, so that by it you may grow up in your salvation, now that you have tasted that the Lord is good. Verses 4 through 5. As you come to him, the living stone, rejected by humans but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. Verse 6. For in Scripture it says, See, I lay a stone in Zion, a chosen and precious cornerstone, and the one who trusts in him will never be put to shame. Verses 7 through 8. Now to you who believe, this stone is precious, but to those who do not believe, the stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone, and a stone that causes people to stumble, and a rock that makes them fall. They stumble because they disobey the message, which is also what they were destined for. Verses 9 through 10. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Dear friends, I urge you, as foreigners and exiles, to abstain from sinful desires which wage war against your soul. Live such good lives among the pagans that, though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day he visits us. A brief summary. Peter describes a holy life with some illustrations. First is a matter of diet. We are to feed on pure spiritual milk while avoiding three types of junk food. One, we eliminate all malice from our diet. This has the sense of evil actions in general, those motivated by greed, spite, jealousy, or other moral failings. Two, the second grouping consists of deceit, hypocrisy, and envy. These are attitudes that project a phony veneer of holiness while at the same time living a life of ingratitude and discontent. Three, slander describes actions that work behind the scenes to damage the reputation of those whom one dislikes. The next metaphor for holy lives is seen in becoming a temple and offering sacrifices to God. One stone does not make a building, no matter how immense it may be. God's spiritual house requires other living stones. Holiness happens in community. Too often we view the church as a place where our needs are met. Peter gives us the picture of an organization devoted to service, self denial, and commitment. We are a holy priesthood. Our temple is built on a chosen and precious cornerstone, Jesus. If we are not part of the building, we stumble over the truth. Note the parallel rock images here: cornerstone and stumbling block, and the words of Jesus to Peter decades earlier in Matthew chapter 16, verses 18 through 23. For the third metaphor for holiness, Peter used the language of statehood. He did this to illustrate the nature of the church as a new people of God. Why was this new nation of God established? Peter described God's act of choosing his new people as bringing the world from spiritual darkness into the wonderful light of God's truth. Christians are citizens of God's holy nation, but live in earthly nations. Therefore, we are foreigners and exiles, those living in a foreign land. But we do not give up the good customs of the homeland. Rather, our lifestyle among the pagans should cause others to glorify God because they see the example we present. Thank you so very much for listening. Stay safe and may God bless.